armed pro-Russian fighters this morning in the centre of the protesters' military stronghold, Slovyansk. Under yesterday's agreement, their fortress town should be returning to normal, but there was no sign of that today. Despite yesterday's deal in Geneva, these barricades have an air of permanence about them, and the men guarding them say that they won't be leaving these buildings or giving up their weapons until the far-right protesters in Kiev do the same. Only 10 miles away, government troops still loyal to Kiev were training at their airfield. But in an attempt to reduce the tension over the Easter weekend, they're not leaving their base. But ominously, at the headquarters of the anti-government uprising in Donetsk, the chairman of the self-declared republic told me he didn't intend to give up his buildings until the Kiev government leave parliament.
The
agreement says that all illegally occupied buildings should be vacated by all sides in the conflict. One of the sides in the conflict is the Kiev protesters and those people that they brought to power. If Turchinov and Yatsenyuk will free that building, we will do it too.
In the embattled parliament, Arseny Yatsenyuk, the prime minister, was making concessions, promising constitutional change, the right to use the Russian language, and an amnesty.
If those who have illegally stolen weapons and seized buildings lay down their arms and leave the buildings, we think they should be given amnesty.
But the big problem is that these protesters, who detest the new Kiev government and favour closer ties with Moscow, didn't really have a representative at the Geneva talks. So it's easy for them to come up with their own interpretation of the agreement. And it's not clear that Russia is prepared to intervene.